And hello to everyone watching this video. I am back with some more Fall Guys. This game is pretty fun. I've been playing it for the week I've been having, and it's pretty wonky, you know, with jumping, falling, grabbing, and pushing stuff on some game modes. It's pretty wonky, but that's what makes the game fun. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. And today I want to try something different. I want to do like a tips video. You know, go through all the maps that I do have in this video and just give my thoughts on them and some tips to help like new people and maybe even some people who are playing the game right now, who already have the game. I'm gonna be going through all of them, doing that, but there are two maps I don't have. One of the final maps being Royal Fumble, where one person has a tail and they just run around. And what is it? Hoarders, where you jump through the. It's not hoarders. It's like a hoop team game. I forgot the name of it, but it's like a team match. You jump through the hoops. It's pretty self-explanatory though. I don't need to explain that one. Or Royal Fumble. That one you basically just like get the tail or just keep it if you already have it. It requires skill to evade other people. You know, it's pretty straightforward. But I'm gonna be going through all the rest of them, giving my thoughts on them, and if I know any tips, I'll give you guys some tips. But without further ado, yeah, let's get into that. First race, we had Dizzy Heights. Dizzy Heights on the first part, you can just run across. It's pretty simple. Right here, remember that you are able to get stuck under those, so avoid those. And right here, I recommend that you jump, because if you do fall, you'll be into a harder place to get through. It sucks. And if we get to this part, jump, because there is a spot down there where you're able to fall. Next one, we have Hit Parade. Hit Parade on the first part, it doesn't really matter if you fall or not, because you basically get to the same part. But what is important is that you get into like the first group that pushes through those things up there, because you know they are hard to move without people, but with them you run straight through them. Now if you look at the cage back there, I do recommend that you try and go on the side if you can, because if you do, you get some time off, but if you miss it or get stuck right here, you also lose time. But if you are one of the first people and you are able to get to the side right there, I do recommend going through there, because it will save you time. Most people don't do it right now. You'll be like first. It's faster, but that's only if you get there at that time. If it's not opening to where you can run through the gate on the side, I don't recommend going through it. Seesaw, this one is pretty simple. If you are one of the first people, I recommend going first, but if you are in the back, I recommend maybe stopping and waiting, because if you go through like the crowd with everybody else, you might end up falling down with too much weight. If by chance a ramp is all the way up like this, you can just jump off and try and respawn on the other side or wait for it. It is a tactic for me to like just walk off sometimes, because if you jump and land on something on these things, you have a chance of like flipping over and then just falling off. And most times you can just like walk up a slanted ramp, even though other people might fall off if they jump. You can kind of just walk up the ramp, but if it ever gets too tilted, everybody just falls regardless. DoorDash, this one is pretty straightforward. It's a guessing game. The first parts, when you start off, it's you know, most of the doors that you see, you can go through them, but as time goes on, there's less and less doors that you can choose from, and there's less and less doors that can open. And at the end, there's only one door that will be open. Now, my strategy for this one is to stay in the middle front. You don't exactly want to be the first one, because if you miss a door, well then you can go from first to last really fast. But you want to like stay in the middle so you can watch other people jump through and see if they fail or if they make it. If they make it, go towards them. If they don't, try and go the other way. Because if you choose wrong, then you can get messed up. And if you stay in the back, too far in the back, you know, you have to like contest for getting through the door. It's like everybody tries to squeeze through one door, and it's pretty hard to do. But yeah. Gate crash, you have to use your brain here. On the first one, the doors would go left, on the one on the left, the one on the right, and then the one in the middle. As time goes on, the gates get faster and faster. This one right here in front of me, the two doors on either side, the farthest left and farthest right, they will go up and down every 2 times, like every other time. The two in the middle will go up and down twice before the ones on the ends go up once. So watch out for that one. And that one I will over right there is the fastest. These are medium speed. I recommend always doing a dive when jumping over that gap right there, as it just makes stuff easier. That's all I have to say for that one. Tiptoe. This one, at the beginning you can choose to like jump off and just like see if you can randomly catch one of the ones that is the path. It doesn't really matter, or you can wait for other people to do it. You can either choose to be the one who goes along the path and be brave, or be the follows. But if you do follow, there's always a chance of someone grabbing you or pushing you and you end up falling off. But don't always get discouraged, because this one you are able to get back in time if you are lucky, like I did. But you know, try and stay on, because there's not a lot of people who get on this one and win. Two main things about this game mode is that, one, the tiles that do shake are the ones that disappear. The tiles that don't shake are the path that you go on. Another thing is that the path is always like straight. It will never require you to jump. You can jump to skip to different parts of the path, but the path is always one straight line. If the squares on the left and right of you are gone, that means the one straight is the one you need to go on. If the path in front of you and on the right of you are gone, then the path must be turned to the left. You know, it's always one of the three in front of you. It never requires you to jump. The path is always a straight line that you have to find. Well, a connected path, not straight. You can't just run forward, but you know, it's all connected. You never have to jump to find the next spot. Slime climb the obstacle course. On the first part, you are able to skip some of the path by jumping on that yellow bouncy thing right there. It is kind of risky though, because people's bodies might also make you fall. On the next part, you're supposed to go on like the sides of them, the left or the far right. On this part, I recommend waiting until the second one hits the end to so you can jump. It's just a way to time it, you know. And on this part, I recommend always running to the right, so that if you do have to run straight to pass up one of these poles that always push you, you don't accidentally get pushed to the left. And the rest is pretty self-explanatory. The whirlygig. This one you are actually able to get hit by these first ones and give you a push. I don't really recommend it. It's a gamble. The next part, you are supposed to like jump on the yellow parts and then jump up first, like to use skill to do that. But you are able to grab the ledge and pull yourself up if you do miss it. And on this part, I recommend going through like the middles of each thing, of each of the pinwheels. But I didn't do it in that one. And then, do I recommend going in the middle? No, but I recommend going to the left part, because people that do get hit by the middle always go to the right, and that might mess you up. You are able to do like a glitch where you can get hit by this thing and then hit the checkpoint for the next part. You might miss it up, but if you do get it, it's worth it, because then you just spawn right there. And I always recommend doing a dive right there, just to make sure you make it. And yeah. Fruit shoot is next. I don't like a fruit shoot. It's basically like a gamble. Like, you hope that the fruits don't hit you. If you see a lot of fruit on the beginning, don't jump. Just wait for it to pass over. And don't jump ever. Just run. Stick on the sides. That's like you can hide behind the purple things to try and not get hit by the fruits as much. But it's not a guarantee that you don't get hit. Yeah, I don't really like fruit shoot. Now we're done with all the race parts, and we're into the survival part of the video. First one, we have this jump club. The only tips I have for this is really to not stay in the same spot for too long, because the tempo of the spinning does change. And when you jump through the hoops, I recommend to dive to try and squeeze your way through, because people's bodies might block you. Next one we have is rollout. This one, there's gaps, there's little poles that push you, there's walls that you can jump down to try and catch yourself. I don't really recommend doing that though. I guess it's worth saying that the two blue ends on each side are the slowest. The purple ones are medium speed, and the yellow one in the middle is fastest. So always remember that. You can kind of like chill on the blue ones. You could just nothing stopping you, but I do recommend moving and not sticking around with too many groups of people because people like to push you and grab you and mess you up. Next we have the block party. This one I recommend kind of like staying in the front, but not too far in the front. You know, just like kind of where you can see where they're coming from, and then get to the other side first. Kind of stay in the middle as well, so you're not like stuck on the other side. I don't like sticking around with people because some like to like mess you up, and some can also block your path and get you stuck. If you ever do get stuck under these little like yellow bars though, you can always try and get back up, and at the end when you start surviving a whole bunch, you get to the gauntlet. You know what to do here. Just jump, stay away from people, don't get stuck. If you do get stuck, get up. And yeah. Perfect match, the only one called logic. This one is straightforward. Memorize what's on the bottom, and when the screen pops it up, you step on it. I guess you can follow people or memorize it for yourself, but remember that you are able to fall off the side yourself. There isn't an invisible barrier, so watch out for that. Hunt, no, tail tag, the only one called hunt. This one, again, straightforward. If you don't have a tail by the time the thing runs out, you lose. I guess the grabbing in this game is wonky. Like right now, some people can just grab you from miles away. It doesn't matter. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. But I guess it is a tactic for some people to stand in the middle under the big hammer. Most people get knocked away trying to get into the middle. But if by chance you are in the middle and you do get a grab, just grab somebody next to you, just like other people next to you. Fall ball, another simple one. Just push the ball. I guess diving maybe makes it easier to push it, but yeah, simple as that. I'm not sure how physics work because in my opinion it's pretty wonky how pushing the ball works, but whatever. You know the gist of it. If it goes by your gate into that little slope, you can just say it's in there. It's gone. You can't get it out. You can't push it once it does that. Next one, team tail tag. Same thing as tail tag. If your team has not the least, by the time the time runs out, you get to go to the next part. I don't recommend staying in the middle. The middle is only if you want to try and cut someone off to try and steal their tail, or if you're trying to get away from somebody that's right behind you. You don't just stay in the middle because then someone can just run up there and get you. Also, you are able to take your own teammate's tail for some odd reason. Don't know why, but same thing as the other tail tag. Some people might grab you from a mile away, and you just have to try and go back and get it. Egg scramble. A few things about this one. One, there are a few golden eggs that start off in the middle. Those, I'm not exactly sure how much they give, but they can be the sole reason some teams even have a chance of winning in some matches. They can be the sole reason your team wins. But I don't recommend always going for them. Most people, they just only go for the golden egg. If it's not the golden egg, they don't want it. Me personally, while everybody's trying to get the golden egg, I try and get my team some regular eggs. I just want to get points. My strategy is to always steal from the team with the lowest amount of eggs. I know it may sound scummy, but it's not about being first, it's about not being last. And if you can make the person already in last more in last, then why don't you do it? It doesn't matter if you take the golden egg or not, unless, you know, the golden egg is the only reason they're staying in. But just try and take their egg and go. Just make sure they don't have it. Just make sure the person in last place doesn't get it. And hopefully the other team also teams up with you and takes their eggs. It's just like a team game, you know. You gotta hope that both of the other teams don't gang up on yours and just take the bottom guy's eggs. But you are able to make somebody who doesn't have an egg, including your own teammate, let go of the egg by holding on to them. So that's another thing. And sometimes when you already have enough eggs and you don't even want to go and try and steal any, just stand at your own place and just like block people from taking your eggs. Grab them to make them let go of the egg. Jump on them, block them with your body, pull them back, push them. It doesn't matter. Just stand up at the top of the steps and just make sure no one takes your eggs if you want to play defense. Jinxed, another skill-based one in my opinion. You have to use diving, jumping, your skills to outmaneuver your opponent and keep yourself from getting infected. Now, just with the other one, tail tag, with grabbing in the game is kind of wonky right now. People again are able to infect you from such a long distance, like right now. Look at that. Look at that. Why? Why? He wasn't by me. He can touch me, but okay. I guess you can kind of do the same to others, but it is like a preference, you know, like a tactic for other people to like stand in the middle at the beginning of the game, especially of the little swirly thing up there, and just watch the other ways to get on to make sure anybody who is infected doesn't get on, and as soon as they do get on, they just jump right off. It's a good tactic. Just make sure you don't stand there too long and get infected like those guys, and it'll be fine. Hoarders, another game mode I don't really like because the ball physics in this game is kind of wonky. Maybe it's supposed to be like that, but I don't know. But basically, you want to try and get your points into the back where they'll be safe. Trying to push your points over the hump in the front kind of makes it go from your side to the other side unless you push it over, which isn't always easy to do. But yeah, if you want to get it in, try and go on the side around the big dent in the front so he doesn't roll over to somebody else's side. But a little fun fact, overtime happens whenever the two lowest people with the team with the lowest amount of points, when those two have the same amount of points, it goes into overtime, and the game will keep going into overtime as long as they have the same amount of points. We actually got overtime twice, and it just kept going, and it'll keep going for as long as they have to. You know, if everybody in the game decides to, you know, play nice and just share, and everybody kept two all at the same time, it would go forever. And I guess it got 2 times, 3 times. Huh. Dang. This match went on for a long time, and we actually won. Right? Right? No, we didn't. Yes, we did. We did? Yeah, we did. Yeah, okay. Rock and roll, the only one with ball physics that I actually enjoy. This one, you start off at the beginning, push the ball through this easy obstacle course. It's really not hard unless your teammates just don't understand logic. And basically the only thing about the obstacle course is don't get stuck on the poles. If you're going on like the left side as we are, go to the right. It's not hard. Go to the right. Do not get stuck on the poles. Make sure everybody pushes the right way. You can go all the way to the right. It doesn't matter. Now, the main thing, the tactic for me, is for everybody to keep pushing the ball, at least until the ball gets down there on the slope, and 1 or 2 people go to sabotage other people. You can just sabotage one ball. You don't have to be first. You just have to not be last. I chose to avoid the red people because they were the last one to come out, so I wanted to keep them in last place. It's not hard. See? Fall Mountain. We are on the last section of this guide. We've done races, we've done team battles, and now we're on final maps. Fall Mountain, basically, you have 2 options. One, you get lucky, and people that try and grab the crown just completely miss, and you grab the crown because you waited. Or 2, you don't get hit. You just don't get hit at all. Like, to win this, you either have to be hit forward, or you have to be not knocked over at all. Like, I swear some people get there in record time. If you fall over once, well, then you better get lucky if you want to win. I recommend hiding behind the little pink and yellow things right there to try and get the balls to go around you and not get hit like that. I'm not sure which side to go on these spinny pink things. I'm not sure if you go on the left side or the right side. I'm not sure which one's better. But in this one, I just got lucky. Look at them. Look at them. That's what not to do. You don't just jump and miss. You wait. Boom. Easy. Just don't miss. Because if you miss, it's over. If you're in that yellow spot, that means you don't win. That's the no winning zone. And next, we have hexagon. Now I know I understand why people don't like hexagon. You could be doing amazing and someone could cut you off and completely murder you. You could be at the top, then fall off one platform and then go to the very bottom or just die. A lot of things could happen. It's a mixture of luck and skill. Skill because you gotta know like how would I jump on one hexagon at a time. You gotta know how to cut people off. You gotta know how to jump from spot to spot. You gotta watch where you're falling at. You gotta make sure you don't fall all the way down to the bottom. So, you know, you gotta use some brain cells. You gotta think a little bit. You gotta hope people are on the same platform as you. And when you finally are alone on a platform, please jump one hexagon at a time, okay? Just take your time. You gotta know how to conserve your platform, because once you fall, you're probably out of there. You gotta like think ahead of time and make it like a path for yourself, a path that you can follow and keep staying on that thing, because once you fall, you're out of there. Jump Showdown, the last map on this list. The same things from Jump Club apply to here. Don't stay in the same place for too long, and usually you want to jump to try and squeeze through, try not to get hit by other people when you're on this one. And when a platform shakes, that means it's gonna fall. So you typically want to go on the side with the most platforms, so that you have a higher chance of not falling off due to the platform is falling. But sometimes it gets split up into even sides to where, like this one, there's 2 and 2. So you just kind of have to get lucky and hope that your platform doesn't fall. I actually got into a game on Jump Showdown where we were on one platform and the platform under us just fell. And I don't think you can exactly like jump from one side to another. I mean, maybe you can. I think you can. I think the gap's short enough for you to jump to the other side. I probably should have done that to try and survive. But yeah, at that point, you kind of have to get lucky and hope that yours doesn't fall, and watch out for shaking platforms. But overall, this video took me the longest time to make. Not literally, because you know the other video where I counted 10,000 blocks took like 4 hours, but this video took me days to make. Not straight days of just editing, but it took me. I wanted to upload this like 5-6 days ago, but because of stuff kept popping up, because I wanted to play other games, because this just took a long time in general to get all the clips that I had and then voice it over, it just took a long time. So a like, at the very least, would be appreciated, or just watch the video. A view counts as something too. It is something. I value it a lot. But yeah, I hope you found this this video entertaining, that it helped you, and if you are a new person, then you get a lot of wins in Fall Guys. And I'll see you all in the next video, wherever that may be. But until then, peace out.